let us look at something in Psalms 91. Psalms 91. Many have only applied Psalms 91 to the time of trouble, but that would be an incorrect interpretation based on the text. When you really study Psalms 91 shows you the dark day. Psalms 91 shows you this issue that we're dealing with Bashan and the tribe of Dan and their apostasy. It deals with that. So we're going to see it. I want to bring these points out here in Psalms 91 because many only look at Psalms 91 as something way in the future with the time of trouble. No. Psalms 91 has to do with our time and the coming dark day that we have on the moon. Now, I have blood moon written next to dark day because the blood moon is in connection with the dark day according to Joel 2:31 and Acts 2. So we're in Psalms 91 now, and notice what it says. Psalms 91, beginning at verse 1, it says, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust." How do you trust the Lord? By trusting His word, by trusting the Bible, by trusting what the Bible says, not what a man says, by doing what the Bible says, not what the majority in the church do. Because the majority in the church were wrong. In the days of Moses leaving Egypt to go to the promised land, how many died? The majority died. Millions died in the wilderness. Only Joshua and Caleb made it in. The majority were in the wrong. Let's keep going. Psalms 91 and verse 3, it says, "Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence." Now, when we talk about the snare of the fowler, a fowler is an unclean bird. An unclean bird is connected to Babylon. Babylon unites church and state. 501c3 is a union of church and state. Tax exemption is a union of church and state. You see? So it's deeper than just dealing with the time of trouble. Let's keep going. It says, "From the noisome pestilence." Didn't we just have a pestilence sweeping the earth in 2020? Wasn't there a pandemic? Weren't people told to stay in their homes? Weren't we told to not come to church, that you could only have 12 people at church or 10 people at church and during the pandemic in here in Virginia? Verse 4, "He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler." What is our protection? His truth. "Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth." That's John 17:17. Verse 5 now of Psalms 91 says, "Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day." Terror by night, terror, that is tied to the dark day. We've studied that in Ezekiel 32. It mentions terror many times there, I believe 7 times. And then it mentions the dark day in Ezekiel 32. Then it says, "Nor for the arrow that flieth by night." Arrow, you're dealing with an asteroid coming from the sky, hitting the earth. It's like an arrow. It has a rock, and there's a stream of fire coming behind it. Verse 6, "Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness." Is there not a dark day coming? The pestilence in darkness, "nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday." When is the day going to go dark? At noon, according to Amos 8, verse 8 through 10. The day is going to go dark at noon, according to Amos 8, 8 through 10. So it's connected to the dark day very clearly here in verse 6. Verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. So we know thousands are going to die on the dark day. Thousands. What's that now? That's right. God will protect his people. Those who have been obedient, who have allowed themselves to be sealed by Christ's righteousness, those who are living in accordance with God's will and his word. Verse 8, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion. Who's the lion? Tribe of Dan. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder. Who's an adder? The tribe of Dan. Read it in Genesis 49. Dan is a lion in Deuteronomy 33, and Dan is an adder, which is a serpent in Genesis 49. The young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet, because he hath set his love upon me. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. To know God's name is to know his character. To know God's name is to be like him, not having the image of the beast, but the image of a lamb, the character of a lamb. To be lamb-like in character, to be like Jesus is what that means. Verse 15, he shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. This is a promise to those of us who are preparing for the coming dark day and the Sunday law crisis. Psalms 91 is more than just the protection during the time of trouble. Yes, it has application for the time of trouble. Don't get me wrong, but it's not just that. It has much to do with the coming dark day, is what Psalms 91 is telling us. Thousands are going to die as we see these events are going to create catastrophes and calamities that will affect millions. But thousands will die as a result. And it could be more, it could be millions, only God knows. But I know for a fact, thousands are going to die on the coming dark day based on Psalms 91. Based on Psalms 91. And it's going to be fulfilled sooner than many people realize, sooner than many believe. And the question is, are we going to trust in the Lord, or are we going to follow the majority in present truth? Are we going to follow the majority of the popular ministry that profess the third angel's message? Because the majority are in apostasy. Yeah, there's going to be a deadly earthquake. A deadly earthquake. Remember the Lisbon earthquake? Remember the Lisbon earthquake? It's going to be very similar to that, probably. Probably. It's going to be a deadly earthquake. You got a flood and a tsunami that strikes Tampa Bay, Florida. You got the coming dark day and the blood moon. You have an invasion upon American soil that will heavily affect Washington, D.C., where the White House will be destroyed. There will be captives of war. This will lead to martial law and also an economic collapse once China and Russia invade America. You have the wormwood prophecy fulfilling, where an asteroid hits the ocean, more than likely near the Gulf of America, right to the west of Tampa Bay, Florida there, causing devastation and the death of many. Egypt, which the Bible refers to as communism, will fall. China will fall on the dark day as well. And we will also have a statue of disobedience, just like Lot's wife, where someone in present truth, a Seventh Day Adventist, will be turned into a statue. That's why Jesus said, remember Lot's wife. History is about to be repeated. The close of probation for Seventh Day Adventists. And let's come back to Lot's wife. Why does he say, remember Lot's wife? The Bible says, as it was in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? A city was destroyed. When God gave a prophecy of a city to be destroyed, that history will be repeated. How many angels came to visit Abraham when God told him about Sodom and Gomorrah being destroyed? The Bible says 3 angels. 3 angels. Go read it. Genesis chapter 18. 3 angels came to visit Abraham and told him about the prophecy of a city to be destroyed. And that history is about to be repeated as we witness the destruction of Tampa Bay, Florida. Why? 3 angels are going forth in these last days, and God's work is going to go forward with great speed in these last days. So, very important matters that we address concerning these prophecies that are very, very soon to come to pass.